if I need to know the truth to be set free, that means I've got to engage now in this idea of really, really thinking about how to transition my thinking. Because I have trained my brain for 56 years to operate this way. Which means what now is natural has to be untaught. Say it again. What is now natural and makes all the sense in the world to you. If you can imagine, we are dealing with this post-traumatic stress syndrome. And so we used to think that it was really only assigned to those individuals who had gone through some traumatic event, either through some type of violent event, some kind of sexualized event, or wartime or whatever else. But what they've shown in science is that if you look, especially at the history of many minorities, we have post-traumatic stress disorder that is run through our genes. And there is scientific proof that you can look at a male fetus and you can tell the stress the mother had when she was carrying the baby. Because his brain is altered by the stress she has. And as he's developing in stress. And so the baby didn't have to experience the stress. The baby experienced the stress through the environment that he was conceived in. And you can also see that, listen, through the sperm of the father, stress is passed. And so that means when the baby is born, it has all the adversarial impacts of all the negativity that's generational. Am I making sense? So whether we like it or not, we have slavery stress. We have migrant stress. That we have stress from the 1800s, and we don't know why we always feel a certain way, but we are made because our DNA says, listen, you were bred in this country a certain way, and you got to watch yourself. This world is like this. So in order to survive, you better be like this all the time. And so so the Bible tells us that I've got to renew my mind. Why? Because it is not just my own impact I'm dealing with. It's the impact generationally. That means now what I've got to do, I've got to say, I've got to ask God to totally transform my whole thinking. Because if He don't transform my whole thinking, listen, there is no way I can break out of this, because it goes beyond my thought, beyond my subconscious to my DNA. Am I making sense? And when I'm arguing with the Word of God, I have to go to 2 Corinthians 10. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God through the of strongholds. So that means this, that I've got to engage now and say, no, brain, you're wrong. No expectations, you're wrong. No feelings, you're wrong. This is not true. This is not true. And I've got to pull it down. It says casting down arguments, which means there are internal things that I'm talking about right now that even as I'm preaching, you're arguing. That you're looking at me and you're saying, yeah, but yeah, that ain't, man, we healthy people. I don't care what he say. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Wait a minute. So if the knowledge of God says I need to be transformed, but I say I don't. What we say is I just need a good paint job, a little cleaning up. But the Bible tells me that I got to be metamorpho, changed from the inside out. So I don't need just a counseling session. I need a DNA transfer. So now, why is it so important? I'm going to show you this. And what's funny about this is I had to go visit my aunt in Temple, and so I was writing this down on the van on the way back. And so that's why I appreciate them so much. So I want you to understand, when we look at this idea of going through kingdom transformation, I want you to understand a couple of things, and it's so important. That you got to know expectations amplify pain. So that means it hurt, but it hurt more because I didn't expect you to say it. I didn't expect that to come from you. Or I expected to be hugged, and instead I was told, move. And so my expectations of people and processes amplify pain. So that means when I didn't think I was going to be, this is why people talk about church hurt, because I'll say the one place I'm not going to be hurt is church. So when I'm hurt at church, I amplify because I was like, whoa, that was not supposed to happen here. And so now that made it greater. Am I making sense? And so when you set up expectations for people and you tell people, and you're like, hey, we dating, so that means you ain't gonna hit me. Hey, that's expectation. I mean, we're not talking about that. Hey, you're not gonna sleep around on me. Hey, you're not gonna steal from my bank account. Hey, you're not gonna hit me upside the head. Hey, you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do. Am I making sense? So expectations amplify pain. That means the injury that occurred is worse in my mind because I got the injury, but I didn't expect the injury from you, which meant now it's amplified. Am I making sense? But I want to tell you what the enemy does to us. So the enemy says, oh, they hurt you. Enemy says, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is devil one-on-one. They hurt you, right? You're like, yeah, it hurt. You say, oh, it hurt so bad. He says, good. He says, now, every time you see them, blame them for your pain. Blame them. That's why when we say Leroy, you cry. That's why when we start talking about your mama, you break down. When we say your daddy, you start to shake and quiver. Because it's the blame. You have learned to assert blame because blame helps you in your mind to justify why I have the right to hold on to this. Because it's not anything that I did, it's what you did. And when you did it, now I can make you evil the rest of your days. Adam said, listen, it was the woman you gave me. Don't come at me, God. You started this. So when you come looking at me, I'm looking at you saying, look at this mess you made. I got the right to hide from you. Blame gives you the right. Am I making sense? And then when you get the right and you justify it, then you get to take it personal and say, and you hurt me. So now you slide into victim mode. You destroyed me. You didn't believe in me. You disappointed me. And so now what I get to do is I get to put myself now in victim mode. And in victimville, I can just teeter-totter between blame and victim. If you wouldn't have did it, I wouldn't have felt this way. If you wouldn't have said it, I wouldn't be here. Don't ask me to come out. You're the reason why I'm in. Am I making sense? Some of us are better at it than others. So some of us doing everything. But you make it. And notice, and you make it. So whenever you see them, that's why their emotion comes from, and it comes from deep on the inside. You can look at a picture of some people, and they dead and gone. But the minute you see that picture, it comes up. Am I making sense? What? Why? So could you imagine every time you see that picture of them, you look at the scar, and you cut it right back open. And you say, the reason why I'm doing this is because of you. You're not allowing this to ever heal. So now, so I'm taking it personal, right? And so the enemy says, good, you're taking it personal, good. Now he says, I'm glad, because now I can keep your thoughts forever. He says, now I can set up arguments. And we can build a stronghold. And now you're working with me. So now we good. So because he did it, because she did it, because they fired me. It was unjust. It was unjust. They didn't like me. Okay. But if you look at the camera, you went in late every day. But you say, no, because you justified now. It wasn't that I was late. I was late because it was a hostile work environment. And if it wasn't a hostile work environment, I would have gone in on time. But every day I had to peel myself out of bed and fight my way to the office. And I sat in my car and cried for 30 minutes every morning, trying to tell myself, get on up, baby, get on up. You can do it today. And you should have clocked on in when you got there and cried at your desk. So now, what happens with disruptive thoughts and emotions? Now, here's where the devil gets you, because now you feel justified, right? But what you don't understand is this. The devil says, now I'm working twofold. Now I'm working psychologically and I'm working biologically. Why? Because we know that there are studies that show people who deal with unforgiveness, anger, and bitterness have heart issues. People who deal with unforgiveness, anger, and bitterness have issues of cancer. People who deal with unforgiveness, anger, and bitterness have issues with blood pressure. People who deal with, am I making sense? People who deal with bitterness, unforgiveness, and anger have stress, migraines, heart attack, blood pressure, diabetes, chronic pain, and everything else. And so the devil says, no. You got the right to feel that way. You say, I do. I don't know why my head hurts so much. And then the doctor's like, I'm giving you pills, I'm giving you this, and now you take medicine to try to undo what you won't do. I'm making sense. Now you popping pills every day to deal with this stuff, and the real issue is let Leroy go. Let Leona go. Get over it. Move on. But you shaking and everything else and the devil says, no, you got the right. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. And your heart saying, I can't take this very much longer. So disruptive and damaging thoughts kick off emotions that start hurting us. Here's the problem, though. Here's another problem. Because your brain is trained, it's more natural to go down the disruptive thoughts than it is to go down the right one. So that means this: as soon as you get stressed, you say, stress, explode. Extreme. Stress, fix everything. Everybody shut up. Give me the whole project. Your head hurting, eyes hurting, face twitching. Done. And then you go back to blame. Y'all hurt me. And the enemy's like, man, I got you in the cycle. I'm doing it all by myself. Won't nobody help me. Am I making sense? And you develop a victim story. So you develop a victim story in your brain. So now you develop a narrative that justifies why you have to hurt yourself every day. And now notice this. Now the devil got you started. Now he's just sitting back. He's like, yeah, there you go. You're on now. And you develop a victim story, and you start talking about when I was 3. You don't know what my Aunt Lay May did to me. You don't know what my Uncle John did to me. Nobody never believed in me my entire life. And so I've declared that I will believe in myself. And I am a strong, independent, and you go through and everybody look at you like, what is going on? We just asked you to help out with moving the chairs. I mean, but suddenly now you got a light shining on you, and you're on stage, and you giving us a play, a one-act play. We didn't ask for all that. Have you ever met somebody you're like, I don't really know what we're into and what's happening. I was just saying, did you want some coffee? That's all I want. But right now, I want to get up off this table and walk away. But you crying, and my coffee getting cold, and I'm looking at you like, what is really going on? I thought it was just gonna be some coffee and a croissant, but now you shaking and right. I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I would have gone and get the coffee by myself. So you develop and so the only way to undo this system, expectations, blame, take things personal, disruptive thoughts, and develop a victim story, is to say, wait a minute, that's a lie. And I've got to rewrite this narrative. Now, here's the beauty of the kingdom. The kingdom is the only place where God gives you the right to rewrite your history. I'm going to say it again. What do you mean, Dr. Moody? That means that you've got to look at your story and you've got to say, let me... What? No, I ain't finna get into that. No, I'm not doing that no more. Everything else. But as long as you keep picking up your history and reviewing it, then what happens is you're going to be doomed to have the same cycle. And there is no deliverance for casting down arguments, because that's you. Tearing down strongholds, those are things that's going on in your brain. Am I making sense? I bind that spirit, and the spirit said, well, I bind you.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you liked this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to The Rock ATX on YouTube and follow The Rock ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all The Rock is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.